Have you heard about India and Israel breaking free of Britain's control in Drew?
Half of my heart is in Havana, oof nasty nana.
So I'll take that as a no. Which would you like to hear about first?
But wait, wasn't the United Nations created before this happens?
You're right. How about I inform you about the UN? Before independence is let loose. October 24th, on this day in 1945, the United Nations Charter, which was adopted and signed on June 26, 1945, is now effective and ready to be enforced. The main cause of the formation of the UN was to prevent any more world wars, and also to uphold international peace.
Did you know the UN was also made to replace the old and outdated League of Nations?
I didn't, Andrew. Thanks for the fact. Now let me hit you with the straight facts. The Charter for the UN was first conceived at the San Francisco Conference on April 25, 1945. The overseers were President Franklin Roosevelt, British Prime Minister Winston Churchill, and Soviet Premier Joseph Stalin. In attendance were 50 other nation leaders. The main goal discussed was the idea for better standards of life and larger international freedom. In early September, since the war was over, it was time for the UN Security Council to get put to the test. Their focus was negotiating and maintaining peace. It worked out great, and October 24th, 1945, the UN was officially formed and open for business.
How did we change seats?
And Drew, that's not important, but what is important is India gaining its independence. India's push for independence was led by Mohandas Gandhi. The Indian independence movement started picking up speed in the early 20th century. After World War I, Gandhi started organizing his passive resistance protest. His most famous one was the Salt March. His protest worked well, and with increasing numbers joining the movement, the British feared losing India to the Axis powers during World War II. 2 years later, as the anti-British demonstrations increased, the Indian National Congress accepted the India Independence Bill. After 200 years of being under British rule, on August 15, 1947, they were free.
Can I do Israel?
When you strike a pose like that, yes you can.
Israel was made to be a place for the Jewish people to go following World War II. On May 14, 1948, the British left Israel, and it was a free country. Almost immediately after the British announced they were leaving the country, fighting erupted. It was between Jewish forces versus Arab forces. This little country of Israel was independent for a couple of hours before getting attacked. Israel held strong and still is an independent country and one of our greatest allies.
Nice job, Andrew. That's it for our show. Have a nice day.